So this is the Trusted Referral Network. We're a network of independent marketing services providers around the country. Most of us have small independent agencies, consultancies. We get together twice a month on the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month, virtually, of course, on Zoom. On the second Tuesday, it's at 11 a.m. And that will be next in 2 weeks from now. But on the fourth Tuesday, it's at 5 p.m. And the reason that I do that is because people might have a standing meeting that they might not be able to make it at a particular time. So I have two different times. Our objectives as a networking group are to build our networks, our connections with other marketing services providers, get to know them, see if they're and explore opportunities to collaborate or subcontract, learn from one another, all that good stuff. So this is an opportunity for you to learn a little bit about what Robert does in a little greater depth, because he's going to do a 15-minute showcase. And then what each of the other folks on this group, on this networking meeting do. Everybody will get like 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how much time we have, to do a quick introduction. Tell us what you do, what you focus on, what your magic is, how you can help others. And if you are looking for anything specifically, be it a connection or types of connections, that's great too. I encourage you all to drop your contact information into the chat. And at the end, what I will do is ask folks to download the chat so that you'll have it on your computer and you can reach out to anybody. Of course, if there is somebody that you want to meet and you forgot who they were or whatever, you can always reach out to me and I will try to make the connection. So this, like most of these networking groups, you're only going to have 2 or 3 minutes to meet folks. But it should give you enough information, especially if you can help them out or if they can help you out based on those 2 or 3 minutes. So critical to get those hooks in there so that people know really what you do and how you can help. So I'm going to hand over are you ready, Robert, you are, okay. So you can, I'm going to put on my timer. I'll time it for 15. You don't have to take the entire 15. Let's see if my timer comes up. Should come up somewhere. Where is it? Timer, there it is. And you should be able to share the screen if you want, or just start talking. And I would ask everybody else to mute, because at least when the person is presenting, while they're presenting a screen, you don't need to mute. But if you are, once he takes off the screen and Robert continues to talk, I'm going to give him the floor as the speaker in the speaker view, which of course changes every time somebody speaks. So Robert, take it away.
Okay. Hey everybody, I'm Robert Weiss, Multivision Digital. And rather than present today, I'm going to play some video that will inform and educate you about video. So without further ado, and then I'll click it off, we can answer some questions. Okay. Everybody hear that? Okay, so this is everybody's favorite question. What does an average video cost?
How much does an average video cost? It doesn't go by time. A very simple video, only 30 seconds. Well, a 30-second TV commercial could cost a lot of money. But a 30-second business video, well, is that actually going to achieve the purpose of that particular video? Probably needs to be a little bit longer. So when you're talking with your professional video production company, focus more on the business objectives. And if you come to them with a budget in mind, that's going to help them make the most out of your budget. There's so many different variables that can go into making a video a $500 video, a $5,000 video, or a $50,000 video. They could all be 30 seconds long or a minute long, but the level of investment that goes into that is very, very different. When making an investment in business video content, be open with your video production company. Let them know the parameters that you're working with and challenge them to come back to you with a couple different options. This will help you make the best decisions for your brand, which might be different than another brand making those same decisions.
So I'm going to skip over all like the end. I might have some promotional stuff, which I'll skip over. So the next is all about batch producing. So is there anybody that would ever make one cookie? Yeah. Oh, maybe. Okay. Always have a naysayer, Joseph. But no, you always make a batch of cookies. So the best value is a batch of videos.
Everybody wants to create cost-effective video content, and it can be done by batch producing. If you subscribe to a one video is not a video marketing strategy, then you know you need to create lots of video content over the years. Advertising awareness, search engine optimization, product launches, recruiting, subject matter expert. There's so many pieces of video content that you as a marketer need to create in the years to come. So by leveraging a batch producing methodology, you'll be able to plan ahead and amortize all of the pre-production time, the planning time, the setup time of all the cameras and equipment, and then the editing time that goes into creating video content. So instead of creating one video from a setup, you can plan properly to create many videos. So if you want some more insight or some help doing this, reach out to Multivision.
Okay. Next one is repurposing content.
Robert,
If
your
you wanna be more
volume's a little
productive
low.
and efficient in creating content, then a video first marketing strategy is what you need. Most marketers are challenged with how to create an ongoing flow of cost-effective content to support their marketing objectives. When you adopt a video first marketing strategy, you will have video that aligns with your business objectives, and then you can take that video and derive blog content, email content, newsletters, social media postings, and potentially press releases with that same video content. So a video first strategy gives you a cohesive approach in building thought leadership expertise, launching a product, targeting a new industry or a new use case that you've developed, showcasing your diversity, equity, inclusion, or ESG initiatives. There's so many examples of putting a video first strategy in motion that gives you the biggest bang for your marketing buck. If this is new to you,
And then one of the other questions I get asked a lot.
here's a pro tip about the length of your video. Never make a video longer than it has to be. The business strategy really will dictate the length of your video. Higher end of the funnel videos like thought leadership videos, advertisements should be on the shorter side. Whereas middle of the funnel, deeper in the funnel videos like case studies, processes, can you really do them in 30 seconds to a minute? You will probably need a longer time. Think about the traditional way that buyers will get this information: by reading, by talking to somebody. Buyers want to do their research on their own time, and they want to watch video because they know it gives them the most amount of information in the shortest amount of time. And that trend is just going to continue. So if you need help in creating your first video, or maybe it's your fifth.
So the last thing is I want to show PowerPoint about a long-term video strategy, whether you're thinking about video, you're just getting started, whatever. Video takes a while to create. So a long-term video strategy is built on short-term projects, and kind of disregard specific names of these projects, product launch, sales support, because they can be so many different ones. But every time you batch produce or produce, now you're creating assets. Like you might have PDFs, you might have brochures, you might have, you know, other types of content that over time you create and use for a very long time. And video has a very long amortization schedule because most videos, if they're evergreen, will last 4, 5, 6 years. So a long-term strategy is really made up of short-term projects. So that's all I got. Got 8 minutes left. I'll take questions if anybody has, or usually there's a couple questions. I can dive back into the PowerPoint and show you different things, or not.
Sure. That's great. Thank you. That's a great overview. Anybody have a question? I'll put it back in gallery mode. Of course, Rajiv, take it away.
Yeah, I have a question. How many times can you say video in 5 seconds?
So clearly Robert does video marketing. Rick, you have a question
for you. I think I already know the answer, but I ask you anyway. So I am a president of a trade association. We ask our speakers to record a short, like 1-minute video promos for our programs. And one of the speakers sent me a vertical video. So when I upload it to Vimeo, I get the letterbox kind of approach. Is there any way to kind of convert it to a horizontal? I'm assuming no, because you can't do it to photographs. So.
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
Yeah, I guess the only way you could do it is to shorten it this way, but you're likely to get like this much of their face or something, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you technically could edit it in Canva, but it wouldn't be a perfect 16:9 aspect ratio. You might be able to get a 4:3 aspect ratio.
Yeah.
Robert, if you recommend that they turn their phone the other way when they actually do it, will that get closer to what you're trying to achieve?
No, that's the way you want to record. I mean, we watch TV this way. We don't watch TV this way. Right. So everybody, like not everybody, but most people do that. They start vertical. Me, I'm always like this.
Right.
So
that'll give you.
When we put it on Vimeo or we want to post the video to LinkedIn or Facebook or something, we need that horizontal orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, unless you're posting it to stories, reels, or shorts,
right?
Because those are like vertical video formats like TikTok. So it kind of just depends on what the use case is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So for us, we decide on those things before we know, and sometimes we'll actually come out with 2 cameras. So we'll have 1 vertical camera, 1 horizontal camera, because we know that that's part of the deliverables, that's what they want to do. So we're not just hoping that we get a horizontal video and cut it. We don't go by hopium, we go by deliberacy. Deliberacy? Is that a word?
If you were doing a streaming, like a live event, that was the one we were thinking about streaming it, would you use 2 cameras, 3 cameras if it's only 1 presenter?
Do you want audience shots?
I don't know that we would need that. Probably not.
Yeah, I would say 1 camera. If you're doing something live, once you go past 2 cameras, then you need a switcher, right? So switcher is like you're watching a football game or something, you see different angles, somebody's actually switching those cameras. Mm-hmm. So once you go past 1 camera to 2 or 5, you need a switcher, and that just increases the investment.
Yeah, right. Any other questions in the last 5 minutes?
I'll post my my YouTube channel, and if you like those tips, subscribe, because we do a lot of those types of thought. We have examples, obviously, but any type of video that you see me as a thumbnail, we call them Multivision Minutes, and they're all thought leadership stuff like that, and we do a lot of that.
I got a question for you, Robert.
From a content marketing standpoint, video first. So.
You said if you use a cell phone, you do it in horizontal mode. How often do you use a cell phone versus a more professional camera?
I'll give you 2 answers. So we do a lot of trade shows.
Mm-hmm.
We have personalized videos. We have a software where I can create 1 video and send it. It's personalized to all of you. And at the very end, it says video is great for lead conversion on your website. I will pull up all of your websites into the video, and I can embed personalization in any form, any data point I want. Your name, company, whatever I have, height, if I have that. So those we'll do just trade show videos like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. We also have a software where we download it on your phone, and the talent will record. We still coach, we still direct, we still do that stuff. They have the professional services, but now we're capturing the content on their phone. We set it up, we frame it, we do all that professional stuff. That's great for thought leadership because you don't need a on-location crew to do that. So we've done hundreds of videos over the years in that regard. It's called remote video capture. But we always recommend our clients to do video by themselves, right? You need to, but you need to develop that balance of when you do professional, when you do it yourself. And if you don't know how to do video, don't do video yourself. Start with the professional, lead with that, because you will learn how to be in front of the camera. You'll learn, like those videos I showed you guys, I was not perfect. I don't know if you noticed that, right? I messed up. I might have said a word. I was not perfect if you watch those videos again, but you guys got the message. I'm hoping anyway, right? And that's the point, is that you don't need to be perfect. The last performance that you saw, music, dance, play, whatever, I guarantee you those people messed up. You just don't know it.
Right. But you can edit. I mean, obviously with video, you can edit it. I don't know how much editing you did with any of those videos.
I mean, we do, but still, I'm natural and normal. Like,
right.
You know, there's a level of transparency you want, and you don't want to be an actor on camera. You want to be who you are. So, and that's the coaching and directing that comes with the
Joseph, you have a question?
Yeah, if you were going to shoot a series of sort of lessons, so let's say I have 3 to 5 or maybe 10 different points that I'd like to make. Each one's going to be, say, 30 seconds long. Do you have any thoughts on like how you would do that? Lessons that I think my audience would be interested, to shake up their view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, first of all, batch producing, right? It doesn't make sense to do one video. You do them all at one time. You'll invest more, but you're going to, on a per video cost basis, it's going to be lower, as low as you can get by doing more. Again, you're not going to bake one cookie. Number 2, you're already assuming they should be 30 seconds. Can you explain that in 30 seconds? If you can, great. If not, then it's not 30 seconds. Right? And then the remote is a great option for that, because if I hear you properly, it's mostly talking head, right? Like, you don't need to be on location somewhere, right? You can be in your office. That would be a great solution.
Right. I would be a little bit informal in that you're imparting some snippet of hopefully something called wisdom in a single sort of person-to-person environment.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I do it remotely, keep the investment low.
All right. One more question. Go ahead, Rick.
So Robert, with the advent of deep fakes and fake videos and everything, a lot of our members are going to be responsible for recording senior executives, either whether it's a town hall or some kind of a promo or thought leadership piece. What's happening with video that's going to allow you to authenticate the video? Is there going to be some kind of, like, what do you think of, like a digital watermark or something on video so that you know that it's really the person that's being shown on the screen?
Don't have an answer. It's not my area of expertise at this moment.
Because I've been hearing some rumblings on some of the things I've seen from the Washington Post and a few others where they interview tech leaders that are talking about somehow doing this, some kind of watermarking process so that you can tell it's an authentic video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure that will happen. Again, I have not come. It's not been an issue for me and my clients yet. If it ever does, then there's watermarking. I'm sure there's other types of things that will. I'm sure the technology to authenticate will develop over time, and that's when I'll need to know that stuff and figure that stuff out. But I'm just not there yet with my clients.
All right. Thanks you so much.
Everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, good questions. So I dropped into Rochelle. I think we're going to cut it off for now so we can move on. I dropped into the chat the order of intros. I put our members first. I'm going to squeeze in Zeb Gotkin, who just joined. I think we'll do 2 minutes. each, and I put the timer on, or I will put it on. Did I miss anybody? If you don't, does anybody not see their name in there besides Zev? All right. So if that's the case, that means I got everyone. If that is the case, then I will go to Rajiv. If everybody could go on mute, that would be great, because I'm going to switch to the speaker mode, and I will put, hey, Zev, thanks for joining. You may still be on mute. You're going to go fourth, I think, or fifth, starting with Rajiv. And we're going to do 2 minutes each. So, Zev, you're on mute. Rajiv, take it away.
Thank you, Michael. As you can see from my Zoom background, it says Assassins for Hire. Yes, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. I am, in fact, an assassin. I don't kill people, but I do kill problems. I make your problems go bye-bye. The kind of problems that I deal with are things like scandal, because scandal, if left untouched, can be completely devastating to you and your business. And the ill effect of scandal is that when people see it on Google, they immediately believe it and then think the worst of you. And what's the effect of them thinking the worst of you? Well, the phone stops ringing, people stop wanting to work with you, and you're not hired for projects. And what's worse, they then advocate for others to not choose to work with you either. So that is the double whammy. And that's the reason why you need an assassin to go out there and take out all that garbage that is misleading good people from working with good people like you. And that's why I do what I do. Some of the things that we've gotten rid of successfully are stories in the press by actually getting the story deleted from the press source, as well as suppressing that link in the Google search result. So those are two kind of deletions that we do. We have a service called Bazooka, which I hope I don't need to explain what a bazooka does, but it basically destroys, obliterates the target. And that's basically what we do as far as scandal. On the flip side of that, we also have a service that prevents future crisis and future threats on Google, such that your online footprint and your online presence can be completely clean and pristine for a period of 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, especially if you're somebody that's going in for some sort of political appointment or board appointment, and you need your footprint to be completely clean. On the flip side of that, I'm also looking for speakers who want to speak at the United Nations. And if you're one of them, send me a text. I'll put my cell in the chat again. Thanks, Michael.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, Rajiv, and I've noticed this before, there's a delay in your video and your audio. So your audio comes out first and then the video. It might be because of I think you might be doing some overlay or extra processing in there. Let's get this like I don't know, anybody else see it? About a half a second delay. Ron Hubsher.
Well, thanks. Welcome, everybody, and great to see the new members and guests. By the way, if you're thinking about joining, Michael's unbelievable. It's a great network, so I'd really encourage you to join. How many people look forward to Fridays in summertime, like going out to the beach or wherever you might go? Everyone's really excited. So have you ever sat around in your business, you work really hard, you think you got a deal closed, you're all excited to start the project, and you had to call in on a Friday before you're about to head out to the beach, and they say, hey, we need a deep discount on this particular project. And here you were, you're really psyched, ready to go to the beach, and you're like, nah, crap, they want a discount. Now what do I do? Do I push back hard on them and risk losing the deal? Do I cave to them? What do I do? Can anybody relate to that? Show of hands. No one gets pushback on pricing? You're all awesome, man. So we make sure that never happens again. I run a negotiation training company. We work with B2B organizations. Some of our clients include everyone from Oracle, Google, ADP, and we work with smaller companies. Most of our companies are manufacturing technology and professional services. So I run a negotiation training program, and we help you reduce discounting and increase close rates.
And who do you want to meet?
We're always looking for VPs of sales or sales enablement, B2B companies, mostly tech, manufacturing, could be any size company, B2B sales forces.
All right, B2B sales forces. And do you usually start with training? I guess that's
Yeah,
the
that's what
core.
we do, training.
That's the core,
That's
yeah.
typically what we do, yeah.
And it's group training first?
Yeah, we do group training, exactly.
Okay. Wonderful. Tech, manufacturing, MFG, and B2B. All right. Wonderful.
Yeah, professional services as well.
Cool. Thank you so much. Rochelle Lisner.
Good
Rochelle,
afternoon. It's Rochelle from Dynamic Business Growth. And I always say that it's dynamic business growth and not schlep along business growth. Companies today, I mean, most companies, they really struggle with speaking about their business in a compelling way. Very often they are long-winded, boring, common, generic. And with this, they really should, they're shooting themselves in the foot. They just can't get ahead. Very rarely do you know what they do, and they blend with everybody else. So when you talk about your business, I want to ask you, are you storytelling or boring telling? Most people, I have to say, are boring telling. So if you need support in really creating that dynamic pitch for yourself, let's just have a conversation. Right now, I am looking to speak to people in the trades, any type of trades, plumbing, electrician, HVAC. I'd like to do another, I'm looking to create a program for the trades, and I'd like to do some informational interviews if anybody would have connections with owners in the trade professions, and also family-owned businesses. Very often people in the trades are part of family-owned businesses. So that's my ask for now.
And what is the informational interview all about?
I'd like to know, I'd like to speak to them very specifically. What are the challenges, frustrations, and the panics that they're going through right now? Because I'd like to create a program that's targeted for the trades. I think I have a clue of what that might be, but when you speak to people, it's amazing that, so many other things pop up. So that's what I'd like to be, have some people that I can chat with about that.
All right. Thank you very much. And you're in New York so far. Our guest, well, so Robert's in New York, Rajiv's in New York, Ron Hubsher, Florida, correct? And Rochelle Lisner in New York. Alan Winnikoff, you're up next.
Thank you, Michael. So hi, everybody. So I'm going to do what Ron did, and I'm going to try to get a little bit of interaction here. I want a show of hands. How many of you actually read a paper, newspaper, or magazine? Anyone out there read something on paper?
In paper format?
Paper format, yes, exactly, with trees, dead trees. Okay, so a handful of you, not that many. Most of you are getting your information online. I own a public relations firm, and what I have had to do over these last many years, in spite of my advanced years, is evolve my business so that we are responding to where people consume their information from. Apologies for ending that sentence in a preposition. So we are not just a PR firm, although people still want old school PR. They still want to be in the New York Times. We also, many years ago, started our social media division, which is now at least half of our business. We offer a lot of other aligned marketing services. The kinds of businesses we work for are media and entertainment. We have a couple of attorneys. We have a couple of nonprofits, some corporate clients. We're generalists in the PR and social media field. But why am I here today? Because I want to find those of you who I can align with, collaborate with, partner with. I believe that networking is paying it forward. If I can find an opportunity for you, I believe it will come back to me. So I want to find those of you who are interested in collaborating and offering potential clients a much broader scope of services by combining our offerings. So if you think that's something that you might be interested in, and you think we might make a good team, let's talk.
Right. I know Alan does a lot of teaming with people, in fact, that I've introduced to him and others as well.
Yes.
Right.
Well, that's because Michael is so awesome.
Thank you. Zev Gotkin, one of our newest members. Zev, are you here? I know he was on mobile for a sec. Let's see if I'm going to go to gallery. Oh, there he is. Zev, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm on mobile. Sorry about that. It's like
Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, Zev Gotkin, founder and CEO of ZEV Media, a full-service digital advertising agency. We work with hospitality, e-commerce, and really we've probably worked with every kind of vertical you can imagine, but those are the two that I like best. And we do everything from getting people a 20, 30 times return on ad spend from meta ads on Facebook, Instagram, Google, all the dominant platforms. In addition to that, we also do a lot of full service organic marketing from your website to a landing page or SEO, social media, with a lot of great results in all these areas, organic, social as well. And yeah, just looking to really work with, to meet with other marketers, CMOs, fractionals of all types and specialties. Even if there's something that we do in common, there's often many ways to collaborate. Sometimes the client, you might be doing one thing, but they need something else as well. We can team up. So looking forward to meeting all of you who I haven't met yet.
Wonderful. And you're also in New York, right?
I'm in Queens, New York. Yeah.
Queens, New York. All right. Okay, now we're going to our guests. If you would just, when you introduce yourself, mention who invited you. I think most of the guests came from me, but Sharon Schanzer, you're up. There you go.
Hi, Sharon Schanzer, and yes, I was invited by Michael. I've been here once or twice before, a while ago. My company is called RLD Group. It doesn't stand for anything. There's a long and boring story about how it got to be the name, but it mostly was at the time a URL that was available, but it used to stand for Red Letter Day. So it's RLD Group. We're a graphic design and business advisory, graphic design firm and a business advisory. I started out doing print design, so I still do quite a bit of print design, but now, of course, most of my business is web design. So I do WordPress predominantly. So if you know anybody who has a WordPress site that needs to be built or fixed or changed or updated or anything like that, I am definitely your woman for that. I'm a WordPress guru at this point, having done this for many, many years. I do both design and development because, as I said, I'm a graphic designer. I also deal with book design, trade show design, email marketing, mostly in MailChimp and Constant Contact. And I'm sort of a tactical, my business is really tactical as opposed to strategic, which is basically kind of getting things done. So I have, a whole host of clients that have all sorts of needs. For instance, I have a client that's I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I have a client that's oh my God, I literally lost complete brain to stop. I have a client that is a antiques buyer, called Silly Antiques. And for him, I do everything, his website, his print ads. Right now I'm switching his email from GoDaddy to Google. I'm helping him I do forms for him. He did a book. I do a book for him. So he just comes to me, lists all the things he needs done, and I can take care of them. My background is in IT, so I get involved in, sort of these ancillary things like setting up his email. I also have a business advisory component to my business, such as the one I mentioned for Adam, where I'm setting up his Google workspace and so on. An example of a client for me that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Finish it up. Example of a client.
Example of a client of mine that's perfect for me is a startup that it doesn't have to be a big, deep pockets, but someone who's starting a business who doesn't know anything about how to run a business. It's pretty common. They come to me like, we need a website. I'm like, do you have a website? You have a domain registered? Oh, do I need to do that? And we kind of go from there. So setting up invoicing, setting up emails, setting up their website, teaching them how to deal with their clients and do proposals and everything. So I get very involved in that kind of thing. And I am also in New York City. That's
wonderful.
Thank you
for so much, and welcome back. Yes.
Thank you.
Adam, Aftergut. I know you bumped off, and hopefully you're coming back on. Are you there? Let's see.
Hi there.
There you are. Okay, go for it.
Am I on the spot now?
You're on the spot. Absolutely.
So is this like an elevator pitch or what's?
Yeah, who you are, what you do, how you can help, what you're looking for.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Sorry for being late here. Thanks for the platform. Hi, everyone. My name is Adam Aftergut. I am a fractional product marketer. Spent most of my career in the enterprise software industry, mainly in-house, first in consultative sales, then became a head of product marketing for over 7 years in-house. And now I consult with early stage startups. How I can help is with some product marketing expertise and just as a sounding board. Happy to always chat. I don't want to be too transactional about these types of relationships. So if you want a perspective on sales enablement, product marketing type topics, anything from go very broad, analyst relations to value prop definition to scripting a slide deck, any of that. And like you guys, I'm sure you all have networks. I have my own network. So if I can help facilitate introductions, I'm happy to do that as well. I'm based in New York City, and that's about it. Have I left anything out? I see that do I yield the balance of my time, as they say in Congress, or?
Yeah, I think you can yield the balance of your time. And we met through an organization called Pavilion
Yes.
just last week. And Pavilion is the networking group for, I think, revenue side professionals. So CROs, salespeople, marketing people, I believe, as well. All right. Rick Alcantara.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rick Alcantara. I am the principal of Rick Alcantara Consulting. It's a public relations marketing digital communications firm. I've been in the business for about 30 years. I've worked with just about every industry you can imagine, from one-person shops to multinationals. I've worked with SAP, American Airlines, Cigna, you name it. My forte is in the planning and the research, the needs assessments, working with clients, figuring out how to build a strategy around a particular campaign or mapping out their entire marketing if they need that. The two audiences I'm really looking to reach are, number one, our senior executives, because I do crisis planning. And if you're not familiar with crisis planning, we sit down with senior executives and figure out what could happen in this company that could crater your brand, and what's the likelihood that it could happen. So something like an active shooter, natural disaster, insider trading, product recalls. So I sit down with them, we map out what you would say, when you would say it, who would say it, when a disaster happens. You try to do that on the fly, you're just gonna stick your foot in your mouth, make the problem even worse. So I work with other agencies, I work with other communicators, I work with marketers, anybody who's concerned about, this kind of thing happening to their business. The other group of people I'm looking to meet are self-published authors. I got into this part of the business about 3.5 years ago. And as you know, you may not know, self-published authors are responsible for all the costs on their book, from the cover design to the copy editing to the marketing, the whole thing. And most of them are not marketers. They usually have a business that they're trying to promote, and they use the book as a way to give you kind of an entree into their thinking and what they do in their full-time business. So what I do is I provide the marketing behind the book and behind the authors. I promote the author, I submit them for awards, I get them media coverage, get them on podcasts, all kinds of things. So if you know people who have self-published and looking to create more visibility, let me know.
You want intros to ghostwriters who do books for other people?
Ghostwriters would be good, and what Sharon does with the book design as well, because I don't do design, I can do a stick figure. That's about it.
All right. Wonderful. Yeah, there's a ghostwriter who's a member of this, or there's two actually who are members of. So neither of them are here. And Rick, you and I met, right?
Yes. I think it was at Newtown Networking Group or something.
Newtown Networking. All right, great. And that's Fulcher.
Yes, Kurt.
Kurt. All right.
Kurt.
Yeah. Frank Neill. Maybe that's where I got Frank from.
Yeah,
Frank
and
Neill,
I've been in that group once or twice before too. But you and I met Michael the other day through Lunch Club, which is
Yes.
Another interesting networking organization that I've recently joined. So hi, Frank Neill, founder of FN Digital Marketing, which is both my initials, but also a nod, a wink and a nod to say I can help you with your FN digital marketing. And that's really where I focus: digital marketing, social media, and probably more social media than digital. So organic social, paid social. I like to say that I approach things with a very middle-brained mentality, so equal parts creative and analytical, being able to throttle both sides. I'm probably not creative enough to be a creative director, and I'm not statistical enough to be a data scientist, but I can be dangerous on both sides, and very often that's what clients need, is kind of bringing a balance. Type of people I'm looking for: I work a lot with agencies. I serve as a fractional digital lead for 2 agencies, 2 former employers actually, but also brands directly of a certain size, right? And so that would be a marketing person who can't afford a full-time agency, can't afford a full-time staff, but knows that they need to tell their story on social media, know that they need to win on social media through, again, organic and paid social as well.
Any particular industries you tend to work in?
Mostly B2C, Michael, although I have done a fair share of B2B, financial services companies, commercial real estate, even services companies. I have some really strong case studies, but a lot of what I've done lately is more skincare, healthcare, consumer packaged goods kind of work.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you so much and welcome back. Or welcome. I don't think you've been here before.
Not here.
Okay.
Yes.
Not here. Okay. George Likourezos. You'll correct me.
Thanks,
No,
Michael. You invited me. I appreciate the invitation. We met through Danny Kaplan, a good friend. So my name is George Likourezos. I'm a partner at Carter DeLuca and Farrell. We're an intellectual property law firm. We specialize primarily helping companies on their brand protection and also on the technology side with patents. But on the brand protection, work a lot with marketers, digital marketing firms, CMOs, basically helping the clients from the get-go, whether it's going to be a name, a business name, a product name. Hey, can we use it? We're going to be running into some issues when we launch with that name. So we do trademark searches in the US, and also if the client wants to have their services overseas, we also search perhaps Europe, Canada, anywhere else they want to launch their brand or their product, making sure they don't run into issues. We actually then apply for registration. We also work with companies making sure their domain name, if they're using it as a brand as well, not only as a domain name, but to market themselves, that's protected as well. We do a lot of work with logo designers, making sure the logo is protected and it's unique enough that we can get it registered. And then we also work a lot with companies on the technology side, whether they're going to launch a new product or they're creating something new. So we will come in and help them on the patent side. So most of our work is with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, but we do also do a fair amount of work in the copyright area. So especially now with generative AI, people come to us and say, hey, I created this content, can I copyright it? The answer is usually no, if it's more than 50% generated by generative AI. So we'll find ways to see how we can protect it and make sure it's copyrightable, so nobody else can copy their content, or maybe put 50% more that somebody else writes rather than the computer writes. So we'll try to find ways to get content copyrighted when it's used, when AI generated it. And that's what we do. And we're based in New York, but we are a national firm.
Thank you very much for joining us. All right, Maryanne Burns.
Hello, everybody. I am in Connecticut. Michael invited me here through another networking group is where we met. I am a chief of staff consultant or strategic program management, if that rings more of a bell for you, but I am that trusted advisor to senior executives. IT is my specialty, so chief information officers, chief technology officers, CISOs, chief information security officers. Those are the folks that I work with to keep all their operations and projects, especially cross-functional projects, meaning outside of IT that they have to interact with, keep all that running smoothly and making sure that they're focusing on what they need to focus on. And I am kind of catching some of the shrapnel so they don't have to deal with certain things, and I could make sure that their use of their time is to the benefit of themselves and the organization. My specialty within IT is what I call IT back office operations. So program and project management and execution, strategy execution, IT financials, vendor management, resource management, meaning who's doing what, who's working on certain things. And within all of that, a subspecialty, I guess, is IT transformation, or what I call turnaround jobs. So if their CIO is struggling running their organization because they have too many balls in the air or things are just in chaos, that's the target situations I gravitate to and thrive in. So I am looking for introductions to CIOs or other tech executives or firms that place those kinds of folks either as interim or fractional or even permanent.
Right. I just met somebody who does just that. So remind me.
Okay.
Joe Rogot.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me today. I think it was Michael who invited me. So my name is Joe Rogot. I'm new to having my own brand and being out there. I have had a career in financial services. Within financial services, I've played the role of in financial planning and analysis, really understanding the drivers of revenue and expense, and being able to advise senior management on how to structure the next deal, the next transaction. So it typically comes under a financial planning and analysis hat. I would tell you that if I can look at what I sort of do differently, is that I really spend a lot of time in the engine room, understanding from the line managers how they do their business. And that gives me the opportunity to create relationships, understand how the business really works, and then be able to take that up the food chain, create sort of a golden source of profitability, of KPIs, and allow management to pick the best strategic direction. I've been doing that for a while, looking for introductions into small fintechs, mid-sized financial services firms, hedge funds, that vertical, that's my introduction.
And you worked with some hedge funds, right? Hedge funds and banks.
Yes, yeah. I worked. I was at a hedge fund in Old Greenwich, World Quant, for about 6 years, and before that at Apollo Global Management, as well as a couple of the big banks. So have some experience in large firms, as well as sort of more mid-sized financial services.
Okay, thank you so much, Stacy Graham.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stacy Graham. I am based in New York City. I am relatively new to, starting my own brand as well. I've been in the digital marketing, customer lifecycle marketing, digital marketing space for a number of years now. Worked with a number of brands, large and small, like large brands like Condé Nast, Paramount. I worked at Birchbox, driving their acquisition strategy. Now I have branched out on my own, starting my own digital consulting firm. So essentially, I say to people, my goal is to help people find what they love and discover new things to love. So whether that's a piece of content, a product, or a service, working with both large organizations and startups to help them think about their customer acquisition strategy. If it's a more of a content or a media type company, thinking about content strategy, what works across various platforms, whether it's video, podcast, written content. Also do work to help drive paid strategy. So I've managed large media budgets in the past, so can do that for organizations. So essentially what I'm looking for is just some introductions to help me get my business off the ground. I have a few small clients right now, but looking to really grow and expand and essentially be a fractional CMO for whatever companies. So.
Right. Thank you so much. Mitchell Klein. You're on mute, Mitchell.
There we go.
There you go.
I always try and take off mute ahead of time. I always forget. Anyway, great group. Michael, thank you for the invitation. Good to meet everyone. It's really a fabulous, fabulous group of people. End of the day for me, I'm tired like Saul, so I'll go quick. I work for a company called Jamloop. Real simply, we are a DSP, demand side platform, and we help businesses, small, medium, and large, run their ads on streaming TV services and apps. We can target zip codes, one zip code, or everyone in the country, doesn't matter. It's about customizing geography, but also customizing audience. So the idea is to add behavioral and lifestyle targeting onto our campaigns so a client can reach a very precise audience. So for instance, if you have a client and they want to just reach people that golf, that's easy. If you want to reach moms with kids 5 to 15 that might need braces one day, we can do that. We have access to over 75,000 audience segments. So once again, we can get real precise. We run our own platform. What's important about that is once again, customization, pricing is competitive, no minimums, no long-term contracts. So if you're working with a mom and pop, we can work with them. We're very transparent on our pricing, where our commercials fall as far as publishers, zip codes, devices, time of day, day of week, etc. And also really important, customer service. If you're a one-person shop, two-person, three-person, a small firm, and you don't have a media team, you don't need one. We're a managed service, which means we do all the heavy lifting. We customize the platform, the campaigns, we optimize, we make sure everything's running on all cylinders. We can make quick changes. If you're in 20 zip codes and you say, hey, I only want to be in 18, we can make that happen. So Mitch Klein with JMLoop, good to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome back. All right,
Yes,
I will
can I ask
go.
Mitchell a quick question?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
So is it mostly B2C or B2B? And then what is, like, if you are B2B, is OTT like a good, option for you?
The answer is we work with B2C and B2B. It's real simple. With the 45 data companies in the product we work with, a lot of them have very robust business-to-business categories. So if you had a campaign and say, hey, I want to reach all the C-suite in a 50-mile radius, we can do that. If you want to reach people by certain job titles, maintenance workers, property managers, landlords, we can do all that. If you want to reach anyone that was in financial services or accountants, we can do that too. So it's real easy. It's about giving us the audience, and then we'll find that audience with our data company.
And what would you suggest, like, for somebody or company just getting started in this area, because it's relatively new for B2B, to test it out with, minimal investment, play money, if you will? What would you say from a?
Can I? Maybe you guys should connect offline because
Okay.
we're getting at the bottom, but that's a good question because I think it's certainly relevant for B2B.
Excellent question.
Yeah. All right. Let me just do my quick intro, and then I think who was it wanted to talk about an upcoming event. I think it was Rick, but I'll do my quick intro. So thank you all for coming. My name is Michael Bendit. My core business is I do sales representation for about a dozen software development teams, and I focus a lot on the marketing industry. So we partner with other agencies, typically generalist agencies, but also with designers, et cetera, who don't always have the resources, the programming resources in-house to get the job done, or need supplemental resources. Just closed a deal with an agency that is a Shopify agency that needed extra hands, an extra front-end developer we're working on, and quality assurance. It might just be for this uptick in business that they had, which is also, we can definitely do that, or it could be ongoing. Typically, we're doing fixed price contracts. Fixed price, fixed scope. At least that's usually the way we start. And it could be anything from a small, simple WordPress site that is a couple $1,000s to a large custom development project. The reason I represent so many teams is because there is such a breadth of technology out there, and not all teams can have, experience in all of the areas that a client might need help with. So we're there to supplement existing resources, to fill in where they don't have the skills, and often sometimes to fill in where their cost structure is such that they can't deliver it with their own employees, and they want to outsource it offshore, dual shore, where the costs are lower. So consider me a resource for software development. My company is called Software Development Resources. But anything to do with software development, happy to help out. So I will bring it back to gallery mode. Rick, did you want to mention something?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I wanted to mention and invite everybody to check out a trade association I'm president of. Is the International Association of Business Communicators. Our focus is professional development for public relations and marketing professionals. IABC is an international organization. I'm president of the Philadelphia chapter, and we have professional development events throughout the year. There's an opportunity to enhance your skills, but also meet the people that may be able to purchase your services. So we have two big events coming up. One that I'll put here on the screen here, I'll show you. This one is called 10 Ways to Make a Good Impression Count on and Off the Golf Course. So if you're a golfer, or if you're looking to understand the correlation between the lessons learned in golf and business, check out that event. And then on August 6th, we have a masterclass on prompt engineering. It's going to be a great program, and we're doing both hybrid and virtual. But I invite you to check out the organization, perhaps even join. I've been part of it for over 15 years and found it to be fantastic. And we can find us at iabcphilly.org or iabcphiladelphia.org.
iabcphilly.org.
And iabcphiladelphia.org is probably the best way to reach us.
Okay.
And I'll put it in the chat.
But there are chapters, Rick, all over the country?
Yes, there's chapters in New York and Seattle and everything. We've partnered with the New York chapter on a few occasions to do some events. But we probably have the strongest programming, I would say, within all of IABC. Whereas a lot of these associations are doing maybe 8 programs a year. We've got 26 or 27 planned for this year.
Wow.
And we do both virtual and live. So yeah, check our website. There's a lot of good upcoming stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to our guests. If you want to find out more about the network itself, you could always reach out to me. We do have, it's focused on marketing services providers. We do invite guests from outside of that as well. But if you are a marketing services provider or provide services to that market, then reach out to me. We have a 3-month trial, and then it's $360 a year after that. We do, as we said, 2 meetings a month. And of course, you get a posting or a listing on the website as well. Thank you all. Now's a good time to download that chat. So if you go to the chat and you click on chat, and the top 3 buttons, on the top, there's these three dots. And the first item is Save Chat. That will save the entire chat with everybody's contact information to your Zoom folder with today's date on it. So make sure you do that. I'll give everybody a couple of seconds to finish that up. I know we're over, and people are, at least on the East Coast, are about. I know they're hankering for their cocktails and hors d'oeuvres or dinner, whatever it happens to be.
Michael, what's that website that you mentioned that you get listed on?
It's trustref.net, trustref.net. Trusted Referral Network is what it's short for. Right. Trustref.net. Yep. All right. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. And thank you again all for coming.
Thank you as always, Michael.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Michael. Thanks.